When you move in obedience, you are aligning yourself to the future that you genuinely want. You are stepping away from those uns. Welcome to Heart Healer TV, a channel where we discuss rebuilding our lives away from feeling unfulfilled, undesirable, unheard, unaligned with our purpose. I'm your host, Latrice Williams, and I'm so glad that you found your way here. Whether you are a first timer or you've been able to listen to a few other videos, I want you to know this is a safe space. This is how I want you to come. Open, ready, and willing to make the changes you needed in your life. Now, I have grace for you. I want you to have some grace for me. This is my first time sharing on this level. And so we are going to be doing some firsts here together. All right. Bring your authentic self. I'm going to bring my authentic self. I want you to bring your authentic self. So today is pretty special. We are going to be talking about obedience is better than sacrifice. Now, anything that I talk to you on here about, trust me, in my own personal life, God has been dealing with me on that very same topic. This is how I'm able to come up with the topics, because it's things that I had to go through or I'm currently going through, and then I share it with you. Okay, so obedience is better than sacrifice. And I have my little notes. I'm a teacher at heart, so I have my books, my notes, pen always ready to write. Okay. All right. So obedience is better than sacrifice. So what does that mean? When you hear obedience is better than sacrifice, what does that mean to you? Let me tell you what it means to me. When I read in the Bible, obedience is better than sacrifice, what it said to me was, I understand that you have a desire to do this and you have a desire to do that. I understand that you share, you give, you help, you do, and all those things. Yes, I understand that you do those things, Shatrice. And when I say I understand, I mean this is how I feel God is answering me on this. I understand that you do all these things, but this is what I want you to do. So anything that I do outside of what He wants me to do, that's sacrifice. When I submit to specifically what He wants me to do, that's obedience. And God honors obedience over the sacrifice. Define it for yourself. Obedience is better than sacrifice. And after you define it to yourself, submit it over to God. Now, I don't leave God out of my business. I don't care what it is I'm doing. I don't care where I am. When I was in the club, He was in the club with me. When I was smoking my cigarettes, He was he was right there next to me while I, was smoking my cigarettes. Okay, I'm not going to tell you anything else, but you get the point. Okay. So I don't leave God out of my business. I include Him. Why? Because I don't know second to second. I don't know what's going to happen to my body, to my life, to my family, to my friends, to the things that I genuinely care about. I don't know anything about anything second to second. And I need the Holy Spirit to direct me, even in my perceptions, even in my understanding. I need guidance. So take that for what you will. All right, so now let's get into it. Now, obedience is better than sacrifice. So I decided that we're going to use this acronym. We're going to use ARK, A-R-K, like Noah's Ark. So what is ARK? ARK is action, respect, kindness. So when we're talking about obedience is better than sacrifice, I want you to think of ARK, action, respect, and kindness. Why? First, stepping away from perfection. So I feel that sometimes we don't deal how we need to in obedience. We don't behave how we should regarding obedience because we are trying to perfect the moment. For example, right now, I would like for this podcast to be in a studio with a team and the lights and the nice little pop-ups and all these things. And that would be perfect to me when it's edited to pristine quality. That is perfect to me. However, God is not looking, remember, because that's sacrifice. God's not looking for that. He said, I want you to get up and I want you to share your story. right? There's somebody else who needs to hear your story. And so what am I? I'm in the house, in a room with a makeshift light, my phone put up, and I am being obedient to what he's asking me to do. I'm stepping away from the thing being perfect, and I am submitting to God what I have in its raw form. That is obedience. That is stepping away from perfection. The reason why I said arc, right? A for action, R for respect, K for kindness. So let's deal with the first thing, action. If when I'm dealing with obedience, the first thing I'm thinking of is take action. I don't need to think about all the extra things. We could still use the podcast as an example. The studio, the lights, the team, the this, the that. I don't have to do all of that. I need to take action on what he asked me to do. And what is that? That means to set some time aside in my day to get up and do what he asked me to do. That's action. Now, I know you say, well, what is respect for? Respect goes both ways. Respect is respecting God, being in awe of him, in fear. And fear not meaning like, oh, be scared because he's going to strike you down, with a bow and send you off to hell. No, no, no. Respect for what he's asking you to do. Respect for his will over your life. Respect that, right? And respect for yourself. When you move in obedience, you are aligning yourself to the future that you genuinely want. You are stepping away from those uns, right? Because the whole purpose is to kill the uns in your life, being unfulfilled. If you're not obedient to the calling in the small matters, how are you going to get to the place where you're feeling fulfilled? What's the other that we're trying to kill? Being undesirable. Undesirable not to other people, because that's validation, right? No, undesirable to yourself. Undesirable to yourself. If you're not feeling desirable to yourself, you will never feel desirable to anybody else, because everything starts here. There must be a wholeness and a completeness within yourself. You're not going to get it from a spouse, from a job, from children, from work. It's not going to happen. It has to be from here, between you and God. He makes you aware, and you develop it within yourself. And as you develop, you become disciplined. And discipline breeds like consistency and purpose and alignment and desirability and fulfillment and all these things. All right. So that's respect. Respect yourself to get up and take action on what he's asking you to be obedient with. Last one, K, kindness. It's so much easier for us to be kind to other people. It's easier for me to see someone who's unhoused and to give them $1 or to buy them a meal or to maybe buy them, maybe they need a garment or something, shoes or coat or something like that. It's easy for me to have empathy towards somebody else and to be kind to them. I find that it's so much harder for human beings to be kind to themselves. It's like we always meeting ourselves in such negativity. Negative self-talk. Negative self-talk. We lie to ourselves daily. Daily. We lie to ourselves. Everybody does it. Everybody does it. So have some kindness to yourself. There is a life that you dream of. There is a life that you want. You think about it all the time. You lose time thinking about this life that you desire. Where you're going to live. The type of spouse you're going to have. Like what your woman looks like. What your man looks like, right? What your work looks like. You lose time thinking about the things that you are utterly passionate about. Don't you want that? I want it for you. I don't even know you, but I want it for you. I want everyone to have the life that God has put in them to desire. The things that are in you that you desire, they come from God. They come from God. Now, What we battling against most of the time, probably all of the time, what we're battling against is doing it God's way and doing it the world's way. You don't have to take my word for it. You can look at society. When you do it the world's way, regardless if you have money or not, this surpasses financial class. So you do it the world's way, you get the money, but you have no fulfillment. There's no passion. You still don't feel desirable. And then what do? You cause so much harm along the way. What does the harm look like? I'm a straight shooter, so I'm just going to mention some things, okay? What does the harm look like? You harming children, right? Pedophilia. You causing violence, murders and rapes and all these things, right? You orchestrating evil things. This is not from God. Now, the desire that he put in you, yeah, that's from God. But the manner in which you go about trying to get it, killing yourself at work. Let's look at something really simple. Killing yourself at work for no real gain that's going to bless you internally. Nothing that adds to your future. Doing so much when God requires you to rest. He requires you to rest. And I know you'll say, well, how am I going to rest if I have a job? How am I going to rest if I have to do this work? When you have God ordering the steps, even in your work, there is rest. Because you don't have to fight for position. You don't have to fight to feel seen. You don't have to fight to feel heard. You don't have to do any of those things. You have to be obedient. If this is the work that he asks you to do, then you know that as long as I'm doing this for the time that he has told me to do this, then nothing that tries to come against this work will prosper. Not one thing. Why? Because God told me to be there. He told me to do this work. He told me to go to this place for this amount of time. That's how it works. And that's kindness to yourself. When you are doing as he orchestrated you to do, when you are moving along the steps that he is laying out for you, that brings rest to the body, rest to the mind, rest to your soul. It's rest. Who doesn't want any rest? I want it. I want rest. I don't want to hustle. I don't want to be harassed. I don't want to have to come up with the business strategy and the this strategy and the partnerships. I don't want to have to kill myself to do these things. I want God to lead me to the people that are supposed to be aligned with me. And I want to leave space for God to speak to me when he says, this person for this amount of time, now leave. I want to be able to hear that so clearly so I know when to pivot. Obedience is better than sacrifice. We're stepping away from perfection. How are we stepping away from perfection? We are using the ARC method. A for action, take action on what he's asking you to do. R for respect. Respect for the plan that he has for your life. Respect yourself to go after your future. And have some kindness to yourself. We're not moving in hustle mentality. No, we are resting because the work is already done. We're leaving space for God to order the steps for the work that he has already done. That is kindness when you rest. It's kindness to yourself. All right. So as always, thank you for joining Heart Healer TV. Thank you for sitting down and listening. You know, I like comments and so forth. I can't wait till we take this podcast alive and I can talk to you guys directly. I'm definitely an in the field kind of person, a connection with the people kind of person. And so I would like to talk to you directly. So I can't wait for those things. But thank you for joining us, and I will see you on the next episode.